Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 12,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So we got 24 of the best small forwards in the game on this list today. If there's any cards that you'd like to hear my thoughts on at the small forward position that aren't included on this list, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll let y'all know where I would place those cards. Without further ado, we got AK, and he's going to go A tier for me. I think AK, 6'9", great defender, really good sigs, tray fade, elite release, elite all-around card. There's just a few small forwards that I think are slightly better than AK. I mean, not by a lot, but by a very small margin. He is a top-tier small forward in the game. Just don't think he's quite in that top 5, which is the top 5 guys that I'm going to put in the S tier. Same thing with Bill Russell. He's a very similar card to AK. He's got an inch better height, maybe not quite as good of a release or movement, but just as elite, if not more of a defender. Two cards that are really, really close, both elite level small forwards for sure, but both not quite higher than A tier in my opinion. Bob Pettit, tough one for me. He could go, I think he'll go A2. He's probably low A. He could almost be B, but I don't think so. I think he's on the same level as AK and Bill Russell. I think he's very close to both of those guys. Very, very elite card still. Good release, good size, good sigs. All around really good card, great defender, great rebounder, really good interior defender, of course, considering he's more big at the small forward position, but very, very good card all the way around. Bobo is an obvious S tier, like obvious S tier, like there's no doubt at all that he's an S tier. You could argue he's the best small forward in the game. I think he's the second best, but he's 7'2" with elite sigs and incredible release. There are two small forwards that are just head and shoulders above the rest at the position, and Bobo is certainly one of them. Almost should be in their own tier between those two guys. Okay, Brian Scalabrine. I'm putting him S tier. Y'all might think I'm gassing a little bit. I'm not sure how much gameplay has actually been done with this Brian Scalabrine card, but the hero Brian Scalabrine is unbelievable. He is 6'9" with a 6'9" wingspan, so he doesn't have the greatest wingspan, but he's incredibly fast, an elite defender, a great slasher, and a great shooter. Stats and badges are incredible. Shooting badges are amazing. He's got key defensive badges. His release is top tier. He's got normal leaner. He's got incredible sigs and quick drops off one. He is legitimately an incredible all-around card. Very, very good. I mean, I think legitimately an S tier guy. I think he might be the lowest card in S tier, or one of the lowest, but I do think he does crack the top 5 small forwards in the game, and he is going to squeak into the S tier for me. Cedric Maxwell is good. I wouldn't say he's incredible, but I think he's got a very good release, very good sigs, very, very solid card. He's only like 15,000 in T as well, maybe even a little bit less, so he's super cheap, super affordable, and super good. Definitely deserving of a pretty decent spot on this list, so I think B tier for him. I'm going to put Chet S as well. Of course, Chet is, in my opinion, the best small forward in the game right now. I think Bobo is great. I think Chet is a little bit better. They're both incredible, but Chet also 7'1", so he's got elite size. He's got an amazing player build. He's an elite level defender with a very, very good release. That's the one thing that I think puts him slightly above Bull, is the fact that I prefer his release just slightly over Bull's. They're both amazing cards. You could really go either way, but one thing's for sure, they're both S tier, and it's no doubt about that at all. Dave Cowens is on the exact same level as AK-47 and Bill Russell to me. I think they're all A tier. I think they're all absolutely incredible cards, just not quite S tier. Dave Cowens, honestly, is the card he compares best to is Bill Russell. I think they're very similar. Both lefty, similar releases, very good defenders, kind of bigs at the small forward position, just really, really good all-around cards who are absolutely elite at the small forward position, but just not quite S tier, but damn close. Franz Wagner's a really solid all-around card. I don't think his release is insane. I think he's just capable, but I wouldn't say he's next level elite. I think he is going to be our first C tier guy. And unfortunately, Giannis is going to be our first D tier guy. I know he's 6'11", and that does give him a certain amount of value, but he's got one of the worst releases on this list, which is a pretty important feature for a card. I mean, especially for me, I think release is incredibly important, and I do not like Giannis's at all. So we're putting him down, excuse me, in the D tier. James Worthy is like B or C. I don't know. He's good. He's got a decent release. He moves okay, not great, but he's a very solid defender. He's got decent enough size. He's a pretty good card. I think he's like borderline B and C, to be honest. I don't know, man. We don't have that many bad cards in this list, to be completely honest. So looking at this, I think I'm going to move him down to the top of C tier. I think that's the fairest spot to put him. Jerry Lucas is not good. He's got a normal timing release, not elite size, not incredible stats and badges. He's one of the worst cards on this list for sure. Definitely a D tier guy, no doubt about that. Jonathan Bender's going to go B, mainly because he's 7 foot. He's got decent sigs. He's a capable enough defender. Stats and badges are still very solid, but at 7 foot, that's his most valuable attribute, and that's why he goes in the B tier. I think KD stays out of D tier. I don't think he's that high, though, because still don't like his release that much, but it's definitely better than Giannis's. He still moves okay. He's a capable enough defender. He does have great stats and badges, no doubt about that. I just don't think he's higher than C tier. KD cards have not been good this year in my team, and this one is certainly no different. KG's our 4th S tier player of the video, no doubt about that one for me. I think he is absolutely incredible, moves really solidly, but mainly is an incredible defender with elite level size and elite level release. He's got one of the best releases in the game, combined with having incredible size at 6'11", being an elite defender, and being able to move and create his own shot at a high level. That's an S tier card to me. Kyle Kuzma, great budget small forward, just like Cedric Maxwell. He's an elite level offensive card, capable enough defensively, has good SIGs, good release. Don't quite think he's A tier, but he's damn close. He is definitely a B tier guy to me. Lamar Odom is a card that I will be completely honest, I have never used, which is kind of weird because he's pretty cheap. He's 6'10" at the small forward position. He's got good speed, good all around stats and badges, good shooter, good playmaker, good defender, good slasher, all that stuff. Release, this Jang base is not incredible though. I will say that. I don't love it. Lillard behind the back is nice. SIGs are okay. He does have quick drops. I mean, he's solid. He's not great. I think he's, I don't know, with how good the small forward position is at this point, I just think he's got to go B tier, C tier. I'm sorry. Larry Bird is D tier. I don't have to say a lot about this. I'm just going to repeat what I've said many times. Was an embarrassment that he was the final trophy case reward, and also even more of an embarrassment that he's never gotten an Evo or an upgrade or anything like that throughout the year. That is just disappointing by 2K that that's a thing, and it continues to be a thing, unfortunately. So obvious D tier though, no doubt about that one. LeBron is going to have to go D tier as well. I'm sorry. I got to have 5 guys in D tier, and I think LeBron's one of the worst 5 in this list. I think LeBron and Giannis are significantly better than Jerry Lucas and Larry Bird, but we got to put 5 guys in D tier, and I just think LeBron, not the best release, not the best SIGs, not the best all-around card. I just don't think he's that great. I don't know. Don't think he's better than any guys in C tier. He's going D. And then finally, Sean Marion's also going D because his release is a complete atrocity. One of the worst releases in the game, in my opinion. I cannot stand it. It's fast, but it's incredibly ugly. Hard to time. He's got a horrific free throw. Doesn't have incredible size. He's a D tier guy as well. Our final S tier player is going to be Thurl Bailey. I think you could also argue for one of these 3 guys, the Big Z, as an S tier guy as well, but for me, he's not quite there. But Thurl is 6'11" with elite SIGs, with a great release that is very similar to KPJ based in all honesty, super fast. I think he is absolutely incredible. He is one of my favorite small forwards in the game. I think he's the best small forward value-wise for his price in the game for sure. And I do think he deserves an S tier spot. Kukoc is great as well. I mean, good release, great size at 6 foot. I think he's 6'10" as well. Moves well, good defender, really solid all around stats and badges. Very good card. X-Man as well, I really do think deserves a C tier spot or B tier spot because I like his release a lot, and he's super complete badge wise. He's one of the best pink diamond cards in the game. That's another card that I'm very high on, to be completely honest, and I think he's definitely deserving of a pretty high up spot on the list as well. And then we have Big Z, who's going to slot in the A tier as well. At 7'3", he is incredible in terms of his size. You could argue he's an S tier guy because of the size, but I think he's not quite for me, simply because of the fact that he's only got like 70-something speed. I'm not a huge masher cheeser. I try not to do that too much. If you play a lot more like that, he's going to be more S tier for you. And the defensive versatility he gives you is very useful, being able to guard guys like Taco and Yao better than almost anybody, which is very useful, but I don't love the fact that he's going to struggle on the perimeter guarding as a small forward, and I think there is enough size and enough good cards in the small forward position where his size isn't quite as much of a ridiculous overpoweredness as it kind of was a couple weeks ago. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this list. I hope y'all did enjoy. Let me know what y'all think of my list down in the comment section down below. If there's anybody you think I ranked too high or too low, or anybody you think I left off the list that does deserve a spot, feel free to let me know about that as well. That's going to do it for the video. Hope y'all did enjoy. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.